So, welcome, ladies. This is, it's the last call of the month. It's October 25th, 2016. We are here with PassionFIT Dynasty and Team Firefly Nation, and tonight's topic is on overcoming obstacles. So we don't have too much of a strict structure tonight, Julie, but we wanted to, I kind of gave our team like the homework assignment to kind of bring in, an obstacle that you're struggling with, in your business. Again, it can be a personal thing. And I think what we'll do is Nicole and I will kind of share a little bit. We kind of want to talk about some of the objections that we had when we first started this business. And how we overcame them. We'll also talk about things that we maybe still currently struggle with, and also talk about things that maybe recent obstacles that we've encountered and what we've done to work on them. But most importantly, we still really want to hear from you what certain obstacles that you might be struggling with, and how we can help you overcome them. Sound good?
Yeah, perfect. Sorry, she just texted me back.
Oh, that's okay. That's fine.
I think she's gonna try to hop in, but her husband's not at home, so it's her and the kids. So.
Juggling the kids. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so I guess to start, Nicole, I'll take it out. I'll talk a little bit about some of my objections that I had when I first started. And it kind of goes back to, obviously, before I even joined, before I even said yes. So without rehashing my whole story, obviously, I never wanted anything to do with a shake. I didn't want it whatsoever. I thought it was crazy. I thought it was an overpriced shake that I didn't believe in, and I had no care or no thought in the world about it, despite how much my coach posted about it, despite how much she messaged me. I still didn't care. But what changed for me was the moment when my coach started commenting on messaging on my pictures. And she still messaged me, she still invited me, I still ignored her, but I started to pay attention because she started loving and liking and commenting on my pictures and posts. And at first I still thought it was really fake. But I was like, wow, this person actually really cares about what's going on in my life, or she was interested. She would ask me for recipes or tips or whatever. And I was like, wow, this person's really, interested and felt genuine. And so when she finally started talking to me, I was terrified of cost, which I think is probably one of the biggest objections that we all feel and experience on a day-to-day basis. And I still feel that now. It's kind of something that's become practice. I know I feel comfortable talking about it. I still feel that every time they ask me the price, I still get the, yeah, it's happening. But all you can do, and that's what I was kind of talking about with Elizabeth today. There's certain ways to have tact about it when you talk about it. But cost was my biggest fear and objection, and I slammed it in the face. Colton, hey buddy, you are not asleep, mister.
Oh, no. Night. Bye.
Good night. You gonna go to bed?
Love you.
Good night, buddy.
Bye. Bye, mister. Oh, he just sees all this. Bye.
Bye.
Oh my God. Bye.
All right, bye, buddy. Love you.
Come on, buddy.
A lot of kids on the call today. Oh, he is.
Yeah, right?
Oh my gosh. Pistol Pete.
Hi, sorry.
Hi. I know all the kids. Hey. We got a full house tonight.
Oh, but
Oh,
they're so cute.
We're just gonna have to do like a big family call. Everyone bring the kids. Nicole and I will bring Adam and Richard. We'll have the dogs, and we'll just
there we go. Yeah.
gang all together. And then we'll just have wine, and we just won't talk.
I like it.
I know. So Elizabeth, we were just saying that tonight's call is, as you had seen in our team page, about overcoming obstacles. So I was kind of briefly talking. I don't want to talk too long now that we have both of you guys on, about some of my first objections and obstacles that I had when I first started. Was basically I was scared of how much money I was going to have to pay. I think we all were. I think we all felt this as when we were signing up, and we all know this is what our customers and future potential coaches experience too. And so I don't think it's not a conversation that necessarily feels any easier. You just become better about talking about it. And kind of like what we were talking about, Elizabeth, too, it's instead of leading with the price, you lead with the value. You lead with the value and the experience that you felt from not just the stakes, but the workouts, the community, the support on demand, or even at the end of the day, throwing it back on, hey, Beachbody gives you a 30-day money-back guarantee. I always slip that in now, is something to also consider. But I kind of want to keep this short, so to take it away from me, Nicole, did you want to throw in some of what you experienced?
Yeah, so keep me short too, because this is a topic that I am passionate about. I have like pages of notes. So the Shakeology being too expensive is definitely one that I struggled with too initially. A little bit different though, I didn't have that objection myself when I signed up, and I'm not saying I have deep pockets. I do not. I just needed something because I was in such a rut that I was desperate. So I didn't care about cost. I saw it working for somebody else, so I was ready to hitch my cart to their train. But I struggled with, and still, this is a current struggle as well, people only wanting the workout program because they don't, it's not Shakeology being too expensive. They just don't need it, quote unquote. They have, their meals planned out, or they're drinking something else, and they just don't have any desire to switch because they like what they're doing. So they're part of their routine is working for them. So that's an objection that I face all the time. And I really bring it back to, when I address it, I bring it back to saying, the value in these programs, it comes with Shakeology, right? So I don't ever say like, you can get the program on its own. I say the program comes with Shakeology. Mm-hmm. And I talk about how the programs are designed with Shakeology in mind, and that's how results are found, and kind of tie it all back together. That's taken me like a real long time, guys. I'm not going to lie to you. At first, when people said I only wanted the program, I was selling 21-day fixes like it was going out of style by themselves, nothing else with it. And that was getting my customers nowhere because they needed that nutrition aspect as well. And then I also wanted to just briefly touch upon two business obstacles. So one that I've overcome that took me probably over a year to overcome, and then one that I'm still struggling with. So power hours. That is something that for the first 12 months, I thought people would come to me. I didn't reach out to anyone. I didn't invite anyone. If people asked me about something, I'd say, hey, yeah, if you want to join me, you can join me. I can talk to you about it. But I left the ball in their court rather than bringing the ball to their court. So Power Hour, ever since Claire entered my life, this is, in short, the value of a success partner holding someone else accountable when they need it most. So the two of us will text each other in the morning before the sunrise to say, are you up? Are you doing it? Are you good? We did it this weekend live over video. It was phenomenal. If you guys ever have the chance to join us, it'd be awesome. Mm-hmm. Especially because we could bounce ideas off each other. We were like, well, hey, I just got this message. What would you say? I digress a little bit, but just talking about, like, I really struggled. I thought everyone was going to come to me, and they didn't. And I wondered why my business wasn't taking off. And then there was a shift in mindset, found a success partner, got that accountability, and now my power hours are happening at least 5 days a week. And then my ongoing obstacle, I won't get too much into this because we actually talked about it last week, talking about the coaching opportunity publicly. So I can talk about that until the cows come home when someone asks me about it in person or personal message. But you'll see I posted once about that in the past, 3 weeks. I really, really, really struggled with that. So If anyone has tips for me, feel free to reach out. It's something I need to warm up to, and it's still something that's completely uncomfortable for me.
Yeah, no, I can totally relate. And we probably need a whole call dedicated probably just to that. I think we hit on it a little bit last week. It wasn't even on that, but we'll have to build it into our repertoire. So let me throw it back to you guys. I guess we can start with you, Julie, and then we'll go to you, Elizabeth, to talk about what your particular obstacles are right now. So take it away.
All right. So for me, I'm kind of right there with both of you girls. Inviting to coaching is like non-existent. I'll like put a post up, same like you, Nicole, like once every couple of weeks. And I'm like, hey, this is what I'm doing. Like, and I've been on a couple of like Danielle's sneak peeks. I've done like some live videos on that, but people that like have watched them and I've like sent messages to never respond. And whenever I like post about coaching, I feel like those are like the least commented on or liked posts that I ever do. So I'm just like, kind of makes you not want to do them because and Claire and I have talked about this before, like I hate feeling like I'm coming off pushy or like everybody needs to do this. And like, if somebody tells me no, I'm like, okay, that's fine. Like, I'll talk to you later. I like never want to feel like I'm like forcing somebody into doing it. And so I kind of like stray away because I just feel like it throws everybody off. And they're like, that's weird. And I'm like, okay, never mind. And like, so I'm definitely still working on that, but hopefully, within a couple more months, I'll get a little bit better at that. Another thing that I kind of am struggling with is like cold messaging those girls that like you, and I haven't even like exhausted my whole like people that I know better yet, but like, you're also the friend requesting those girls that you like are friends of a friend and you went to the same high school or maybe the same college, but like you've never physically met that person. So it always feels so awkward like sending them a message and being like, hey, I know we have no idea who each other is, but like we have 30 Facebook friends in common, so like how's your day going? And I always just feel so awkward doing it. And like I know I have nothing to lose because if that person doesn't respond, who cares? I don't know who they are. But it just always like, I feel like I need to work up so much like courage to be like, hi, my name is Julie. It's like when you used to use like instant messenger back in the day and like ask people how old they were and where they lived and like if they were a boy or a girl. You know what I'm talking about, little ASL. See, I got you. Right? That's what it feels like. And then one of the other things, I definitely struggle with like my power hours and like some weeks I'm like on point every day. And then like the next week I'll do like one. And it's like, I definitely ebb and flow with that for sure. And I think right now, what I'm struggling with now that I'm starting to put people in Dave's account is that like, I actually have to like keep up his account. Like, the last 2 months, so for September and August, I put his shakes on hold because he doesn't drink them. And like, I have 3 things of shakes in my cabinet and I don't drink that many. But now that like, right now he only has 1 person, but I know that if I put another person in there, I'm going to need to be having a certain amount of money go into his account every month. And it's just like, I'm trying to figure out like, what I can buy because I'm not going to put shakes in there every month. And it's like, I know that I'm going to have to keep up that like extra money in his account every month, which is a little nerve wracking. Like I'm already spending, the $100 on mine and now it's going to have to be at least $150 or whatever every month just so I can kind of benefit from him. So hopefully I'll be a millionaire soon and then it'll all just work out. That's by next week, I'm sure.
Right. So I have like probably like a million thoughts running through my mind. I'm sure you do too, Nicole. So I actually kind of want to throw it to you, Nicole, because I think you have the perfect things to say to the inviting to the, even though I know that's something you struggle with, I feel like you always have a great answer about inviting to that, and the part about, because you just gave out, we just were laughing at this because Nicole just gave the same tough love about messaging new forms as well, Julie. So I want you to hear from Nicole because you.
Okay, yeah, please.
Also, before I forget, just a quick comment on the managing your spouse's account. So I won't go into too much detail, but I did a push group last year to push to Diamond, and I now manage 3 accounts, mine, my dad's, and Adam's. And it's definitely a lot. So I'm fortunate in the way that Adam does drink Shakeology, but my dad doesn't yet. So the way I handle it is my Shakeology comes in on my dad's account, Adam's comes in on his, but then on my account, you don't actually need to order anything yourself if you're hitting 50 PVs through customers that are ordering through you.
So what is that? How does that work? Like, is it like you're signing people up as customers? Because like, I feel like I never see anybody else's stuff except like my own.
Yeah. So if you say, for example, you have a friend, Mary, who's a new customer and she orders Shakeology by itself, that 90 personal volume points, if she's not a coach and just a customer, that satisfies yours to keep you active.
Okay. So if I'm signing somebody up as a customer, that would count for me, but not if I'm signing them up as a coach.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's kind of how I handle it. If I'm Shakeology to the max, which some months I am, I'll just rely on customer volume beneath me rather than placing an order myself. Okay. So just wanted to throw that out there. There's a FAQ out there on it, but I know it's tough to always dig through that stuff. So,
I'm sorry, go into that. We'll do that, and then I'll have my last point about the spouse account too.
Okay. So cold market. So for me, I don't always reach out with chit chat to my cold market. So my cold-ish market, my friends of friends that I've never met that maybe went to the same college as me. I'll usually find something on their page that's relatable. Sometimes it's a fitness post. I see that they're a frequent runner, and I just say, hey, like I saw that you run all the time. Like, are there any routes around here that you typically run? I've been thinking about picking it back up. Or I saw that you're into fitness too, and I throw an invite out like right away. Okay. Or I'll just say, hey, like I sent a girl a message the other day. I was like, hey, I have been thinking about getting a new car because I'm looking into SUVs. And I said, I saw that you got one a couple of months ago because I had like creeped on her page. And I was like, what did you get? How do you like it? Any feedback on the dealership? Yada, yada. So just really like, I'm not saying like, do you have any plans for the summer? Do you have any plans for the fall? Like I'm trying to bring it back to something I've been following on their page. Right. But I do throw invites out to cold market. So this is something Claire and I talked about on Saturday morning during our power hour, and inviting people that might be your friends' friends. So like some of your best friends have friends that you maybe met once or twice, but you really don't know them that well. Inviting them to your challenge groups or inviting them to your free groups. It doesn't always have to be you're trying to sell them on a product or a challenge group or an opportunity. You can sell them on a free group. So our current Crockpot group has like 60 people in it. Like you can invite to that just by saying, hey, I saw you posted this meal the other day. It looked really good. Would you be interested in joining my free Crockpot group? Okay. So just because you never met them doesn't mean they're not going to be interested. And what's the worst that's going to happen? They're not going to respond, or they're going to say, no, thanks, it's not for me. Right. Like you said earlier, Julie, you don't know them. You're never going to see them again. So who cares? If people get mad at you for offering to help them or offering them a service, then that shows a lot about their character, and you don't want those types of people as your customers. Yeah, that's very true.
And that's like exactly like I was getting in my own head on Saturday. And so it was really helpful when Nicole and I did our live power hour, because I was like, I'm messaging these friends of friends, and some of these people that I was actually messaging, like I've met and I know and blah blah blah. So I was feeling that same, and I've talked to them plenty of times, but I was like feeling that like I'm not messaging about, like, I wasn't inviting them, but I was just like messaging to like start a conversation and say hi. And so I just need, like, Nicole, you just always put it so eloquently, of like reminding ourselves, like, you know, if we think of ourselves as leechy, creepy people, then that's how our messages are just gonna come across. We have to remind ourselves why exactly we're here, and it is because we are trying to genuinely share this with other people. And then that goes to a whole nother layer of confidence that we always need to be working on in PD and whatnot. But yeah. So, and it's funny because one of the things I was telling Nicole before the call too is that I really struggled to move from my warm to my colder market. And that literally stopped me dead in my tracks last December, January. It's the reason I didn't hit Success Club in January, because I didn't do it and I was terrified. So you already get props because you are friend requesting people into your market, because that was something I didn't do until January, and I was 6 months into my business. So keep doing that. And a lot of, I think, our new forms look like, and I'm always revising my scripts. Like, something I've been trying to focus on lately is just constantly reevaluating what I'm doing and noticing what's getting traction, what's not. And so that's when last week I sent Nicole this big freak out of like, oh my God, I just spent like 2 hours this morning doing a power hour and I feel like I got nowhere. And it's because I knew I needed to reevaluate how I was messaging. And one of those things was my new forms. And so I just literally had realized I need to go back to my roots. I can't just blast a new form script. I need to personalize it. And so instead of trying to do 10 to 15 new forms a day, I'm trying to do 5 because I want to make sure it's really personalized. So what my new forms have been looking like lately were, and I don't know if I love it, so Nicole, you can critique me on this later, please do. But it was like, hey, hey Lindsay, I saw we had a bunch of mutual friends, so I just wanted to say hi. I saw you just went to this awesome music festival. Like, your pictures look great. Love your dress. Like, how's everything going for you this fall? That's what my new form. So that's what I reevaluated this week, and I'd like to kind of just the thing that's kind of more personalized to me is, like, I saw we had a bunch of mutual friends. So I'm trying to put it out there, like, yes, I know this is random, but I try to kind of like address the elephant in the room and say, hey, like, how are you? And just leave it in their court. And that's, at the end of the day, it's leaving it in their court and just asking them how they are. So. And the other part that I want to say about managing Dave's account too, there's, again, probably could do a whole call on managing spouse accounts. I could literally need to learn what you just talked about with the volume stuff. But I would say the only time that you really need to worry about, I mean, you are pushing for Diamond because you're literally 3 coaches away, so you're so close. But the only time that you really need, the only time that you really need to start really stressing about the volume in his account is really when you want to maintain your rank for 6 weeks once you hit Diamond. That's when you're in hot water. Not that you need to, I mean, you're getting close, so I know that you want to maintain it because it could happen in the next month for you or sooner, you know? I mean, Richard, I mean, pretty much that's why I lost Diamond in my 6-week qualification, because I messed up. I thought I had enough volume in his account, and I didn't. But he's been inactive for too long. That Beachbody sent me an email saying, like, we have to send you a Shakeology. Like, we have to. Like, you don't have a choice. You can't put it on hold anymore. So, anyways, yeah.
Oh, really?
No, that's not what the email said. I went to put it on hold again. They were like, it's been on hold for too long, so we have to send you back. I was like, okay. They actually customer service sent me back an email. I was like, no. But I mean, he drinks it. He likes them, and but he just doesn't drink them regularly. But I'll force him to. Yeah. So that's what I was just gonna say is, like, it's probably most important during qualification. Of course, you're really on the cusp of Diamond, so keep talking to us about it, and we'll be here to kind of help you with the volume stuff. Because by no means, I think, should you need to worry about like, oh my God, now that I'm going for diamond, I need to forever maintain his count. I mean, clearly if you want to maintain his cycle bonuses, yes, you do want to make sure he has that emerald. Like I don't get cycle bonuses from Richard because his account's not an emerald right now. Down the road, I'd obviously want it to be emerald so that I can get those cycle bonuses and that I can generate that income from his account. I personally am not at that place yet, but I'm working towards building it. So again, if that's your goal, there's nothing wrong with that, and keep working on building that volume. We'll just be here to help you bounce off how to do that.
Okay. Yeah, because I know like in months before, because like I've had him order shakes. I guess he's ordered maybe like 3 times already, maybe only twice. And I signed him up under me that very first month. But then like 1 month, because I like wasn't sure about the whole like inactivity of his account at the beginning. Like I didn't realize it would say you're inactive, but you're still like paying the coach fee. I thought if you like weren't ordering the shakes, you just like, that was it. Like it canceled everything. So like 1 month I even ordered like 6-8 cookbooks through his account. So I could hit like the 50 on his, and then I just gave them away to like the girls that I had sign up that month. So, because I know like for him, if I wanted to get emerald, I only have to do like the 50 PV instead of the 90 or 100 or whatever.
And I don't know, this is just an idea, and I know this isn't the topic of this call, but since we're having a conversation, I don't know if you've tried any of the performance line, but it's fantastic. The Recover satisfies the PV.
Yeah, and I like the Energize. It's so good. It tastes like lemonade.
Yeah, and Hydrate's really good too. So that's always an option, one of those couple of things. Okay. I think Energize doesn't satisfy completely. I think it's like $38.
Yeah.
Okay.
But the Hydrate and the Recover both satisfy it. So that's always an option. I had one of my accounts do Recover for months and months and months.
And when you do, because I bought like the sample pack just so I could try them like a while ago. For the Recover, are you drinking that like in addition to your shake when you drink it?
Yeah.
And does that count as one of your proteins?
So that's variable. I'm not actually sure. The jury's still out.
Okay. Because it has a lot of protein in it.
Yeah. It's but it has casein in it, which is a type of protein, and it's slower digesting protein. So I don't know if it counts as the same, but I drink it right after my workout so that I'm following like a recommendation, and I don't have my shake for a couple of hours. So maybe I'm cheating and having an extra protein, but the good it's doing for me, I'm like, well, at least I'm not having an extra.
Well, listen,
that is good.
Our time is ticking. We just got the 10-minute mark. So I just wanted to give the opportunity to you, Elizabeth, if you had any obstacles that you wanted to talk about tonight.
Oh, man, where do I start? My biggest obstacle is, like, knowledge about everything. And, like, I mean, I talked to Claire and Julie earlier because I got somebody that was, like, interested in it. They're still deciding.
Yeah.
And trying to figure out where I go as a shortcut, like, if someone's not available and I don't know right off the top of my head. I mean, I know the FAQs, and that's pretty much where I went. It was kind of helpful, but I wanted to be sure that that's the right place to go. So I guess, like, the knowledge about prices and, like, if somebody's asking me and I was interested, and then I guess I like doubt myself a lot. So that's like one of my biggest struggles is, so that's where I get like stuck at and like need to get help from other people. Another obstacle is like trying to do like my power hour. Like I don't do one because I just haven't. And I mean, I know I need to really start doing that if I'm going to start trying to sell this and get people to get on board with me and everything like that. But I mean, that's pretty much where I'm at right now, I guess. And I've been procrastinating, so that doesn't help either. I mean, that's the start of it, I guess.
Well, you're not experiencing anything that we all as new coaches didn't go through. So I wouldn't be so hard on yourself, first of all, because you are a new coach and you are still learning and you are still going through your training. So we give you props like that you're like on this call and you're making this a priority. I mean, I can hear it in your voice that you really want to do this. So the whole self-doubt thing, I just wanted to speak to that real quick because personal development all the way, man. I mean, that shit still creeps up on me all the time. Like even this month, and Nicole and I feel like have come a long way, and Julie, you have too. But the self-doubt thing, man, that is a forever, every hour, every day battle, I think. And we can recommend a ton of personal development for you on that. But you know, and it comes with time too. It comes with just, you know, getting the more practice of once you're doing your power hours a little bit more and you're familiar with doing the work a little bit more. Once you've had a few more conversations with people, you'll again have that comfortability of like, okay, I've talked about prices with people. I've talked about the shakes with people, you know, but I know exactly how you feel, and in that place, it's terrifying to do all of it. And you're a mom, and you juggle 2 kids and a family at home. I mean, that's already more than any one of us on the call. I mean, Julie, you got the one. I'm just saying she's got 2, so that's a lot. No, but I mean, regardless, I mean, you know. So I just wanted to speak to the personal development aspect of that. And even if you can make it, you know, do some personal development, like in the car, like listening to some things like while you're driving, you know, because obviously I can imagine it can be hard to pick up like a book or something with you being busy.
Yeah, I'm finding that. I was just thinking about that when you brought it up, because the book the badass book, I haven't picked it up since when I was on the call last. I just haven't had time.
Well, don't worry. I think you'll love still having, like, I'm an audiobook fiend. I still have the paperback, and I still pick it up for road trips. So it's not a bad investment, I'll say.
Yeah, to go back to it when I'm, like, on a vacation and trying to relax, when the kids are sleeping.
Yeah. But the part about maybe the knowledge part, I mean, I think, first of all, I'm so proud that you actually went to the FAQs, because as a new coach, I was literally the like annoying person that like went to my coach to try to ask for everything, which is like, I'm not saying that you shouldn't and can't do that, but like in the Beachbody world, it's like, if you're leeching off of your coach for every single answer for everything, like you're just the annoying pest. And none of you guys are like in this team. So
not only that, I am like the most impatient person sometimes, because I'm just like, I know they probably want an answer like right now, so let me just start the FAQ. Well, first I started texting Julie, and I was like, she's probably not available right now, but I'll try anyways. And then I gave it like 10 minutes, and I was like, okay, let me try the FAQs. And so then that's when I went there, and then I was like, all right, I found my answer, but am I looking at this right, or is there somewhere else that I need to go to find there's another discount that's just not out there and only us as coaches know, kind of thing. So I was like, is this right?
Yeah, and sometimes the FAQs can be a little bit confusing, like the way they're worded. Like there have been some that I've looked at and I'm like, the hell does that mean? I'm like, I'll read it 12 times and still not know the answer to my question.
That's what I did with this one, because I was like, the title of it was, and the reason why I clicked on it was October challenge packs prices or something like that. And so I clicked on it, and the second word in there was September, and I was like, I thought this is October. And so I like went back up to the title, and it said October, but like I didn't read the whole thing, of course, because I was trying to be like quick. And it said like they were carrying out the same prices as they did in September, and I was like, oh, okay.
and don't feel like you need to message somebody back right away. That's what I used to do at the beginning. Like I would have these hour-long Facebook Messenger conversations with people because I felt like, oh my God, if I don't respond within the next 5 minutes, they're going to be like, oh, well, F her. I'm not buying this crap from her because she didn't text me right away. But like, you know,
not only
but
that,
like when I message somebody, they message me back right away. Like, you know, I know Claire has told me a million times, like, keep your business hours. Like, if you work from 5 to 6 in the morning, like, don't be still messaging people at 7 in the morning just because they happen to message you back. Like, wait again and do another half an hour in the evening, but like,
don't work around them. Work around what you have available, which makes sense because I'm the type of person where I'm like, okay, tonight I'll send some messages, or like you guys have always said, like, reach out to people, and like if somebody liked it, if somebody liked it, then reach out to them and be like, hey, I noticed you liked my my picture, you know, are you, you know, just spark up a conversation and see. Usually I'm like, I only have 5 minutes usually to do that. So then I'm like, why am I going to start up a conversation with somebody if I don't even have time to talk to them?
Right. Well, listen, I don't mean to cut you off, but it will cut us off in a second. But I took notes on everything you guys were saying. So I think Nicole and I definitely know some good topics to build in the future. So, and I think Nicole and I'll try to brainstorm some things to share on our team pages to touch on everything that we're talking on this week. Sound good?
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
So, and more administrative things to come for team spirit and core de force. Okay?
Sounds good. Bye, guys.
Have a good night, guys.
bye.
Bye.
Bye.